At DorPIP, we understand it can be difficult to talk about these kinds of issues. So we asked Steve, a dad of three, some questions that you might find useful.
I didn't really have any preconceptions of being a dad. I left it quite late to become a parent, so I'd seen quite a lot of my friends had children. And I guess I'd lived a bit through them. I thought it would be tiring. I thought, parents sort of disappear off into a hole and you don't see people for a long time. But I think in some respects, I was quite wrong. It is tiring, don't get me wrong. The lack of sleep is completely unprecedented in my life before becoming a dad. But while you might disappear from some of your old social circles, you get a lot more new friends because babies come with all sorts of clubs that you have to go to, and that's really pleasant. I guess becoming a parent changes the dynamic in our household. I mean, just because there's an extra person around that you have to care for at all times, and you can't really leave alone for a second. My job, really, for the first few months of his life, and for these guys' lives so far, has been looking after them, don't get me wrong, but also looking after my wife to make sure that she is in a position where she can keep these guys fed and alive. So, whereas before we'd kind of share the burden of house maintenance equally, now it's very much I do that stuff and she, feeds these guys and does that. It's not in and of itself overwhelming, but you have to be prepared for the lack of sleep and be aware of where you're at going into parenthood, knowing that you're going to be less able than you were previously to cope with some of the things that might have set you off previously because you've had so little sleep. To any dads who are struggling in early parenthood, I'd say try and find peers who are in the same situation as you. There are Facebook groups. You might have been to an NCT group if you can set up a group just for the dads on WhatsApp or whatever and just talk to other dads. I found it really powerful speaking to other dads who are in exactly the same situation as me. It's incredible in early parenthood how quickly you move through these phases. The first week is very different to the second month. And if you're able to talk to somebody who is exactly where you are, and I'd say a dad who is exactly where you are, then that can be a real crutch, a real help.